Back to Tarot by the Bay, I'm David. Okay, so one of the stated missions of this channel is to try and bring some calm to these tumultuous times, and doing it with silliness, snark, and a 16-ton weight of silliness. Um, I haven't read on this story. There's been nonsense coming out of Ohio where they're saying, the Democratic convention is like 3 weeks after Ohio's deadline for candidates to announce they're going to be on the ballot. What's the long and short of that mean? It's like Ohio's saying, unless the Democrats meet their August 7th deadline to say Joe Biden's going to be their president, they're going to leave him off the ballot. Now, funny thing, I was reading an article on Daily Costs, and I don't know if it's true or not, but they were saying, other than 2016, that was the only time in Ohio where both candidates met the deadline. It's been 40 years since candidates both met the deadline. How did they get around it? They had provisional candidates. And in this case, Biden's already got the election sewn up. He's got enough votes. He doesn't have any serious contenders for it. So Democrats said, well, we'll just put a provisional candidacy on there. Basically, it's a placeholder until we have our pomp and circumstance party in the end of August when we officially announce he's the presidential candidate. Well, the Attorney General for Ohio said, no, that's not going to work. We're not going to accept provisional candidates, which is funny because they accepted him in 2020. They accepted him in 2012, in 2008, in 2004. They accepted him all back then. But now he's saying the letter of the law is really clear and they can't do this. The Republicans are saying, this is a Democrat problem and they need to solve it. In other words, what they want to do is they want the Democrats to change when their convention is to meet their state law. The Democrats in Ohio are basically kicking it up to Biden and the DNC to resolve it. And there's two ways this can be resolved. It could be, the Ohio legislature gets together and changes the law on when the due date is. That would be, the normal thing to do. But in this contentious world that we live in, the Republicans seem to have zero interest in doing that. The second avenue would be getting lawyers involved in litigating it. And just so you know, it's not an Ohio problem. There are other states that are impacted on this too. And let's see, Alabama is one of them. Washington State is another. And Washington did say that they were going to accept a provisional candidate. Alabama hasn't said one way or another. So to sort of give the plot away before, I'm going to give the ending of the story away. There is no way in hell that Ohio is not going to have Joe Biden on the ballot. Same thing with Alabama. And if you're nervous, like, well, how do you know that? Let's go back to that Colorado Supreme Court ruling, okay? The one that got overturned by the Supreme Court? The Supreme Court said that the Colorado State Supreme Court could not keep a candidate off the ballot. The states can't keep a federal candidate off the ballot. I don't know if they said specifically for insurrection, but let's say for insurrection, but they couldn't do that. That was illegal from the Supreme Court's point of view. Guess what, Ohio? You can't keep Biden off the ballot. It's going to fall under that same it's going to follow that same logic. The fact that Ohio could say you have to have your presidential candidates by January 1st, 2024 for the 2024 election. That doesn't mean it's reasonable. It's the thing with laws sometimes in politics is you have to play nice in the sandbox. And this country has gotten so polarized over the last 30 years that we don't play nice in the sandbox anymore. So we get lawyers involved. There is no way what'll happen is Biden will sue and then the courts will stay the order by the AG until it's resolved in the court system, which means that Biden will get in on a provisional. That's what I see happening. But let's look at the energy around it. Ohio, maybe Alabama. What's going on with Ohio and Alabama? Is David right, or is he just talking out his you know what? Entertainment purposes only. That right there has all the look of an Ohio attorney general that's trying to just say, yeah, no, I'm on a power trip and you can't come in to my state. I've got my candidates lined up. I haven't looked up the Ohio AG. I somehow suspect that he doesn't have a D in his party affiliation. Just guessing, but I shouldn't be so judgy. I should actually do my research. Hang on for a sec. Okay, we're back. Oh, this guy's a peach. um, he he's an election denier. He filed a friend of the court. He put up in office in 2019. He filed a friend of the court saying that Trump's election was stolen and it should be overturned. Uh, he put together a 6-week abortion ban. His son and daughter-in-law took him to task on social media, saying the home of the free doesn't feel so free right now with this ban in place. Taking aim at basically this, his son took aim at his father with this. Um, what else has he done? Yeah, right. In Ohio is where that 10-year-old girl got pregnant. She was raped and got pregnant, and she was 6 weeks and 3 days pregnant, so she couldn't get an abortion there, so she had to go to another state. Yeah, that's this guy. That's this guy. Now, when I say this card looks like this guy, that's this guy. You smug, arrogant mother. Yeah, insert the final word there. Whatever you like. Trucker, mucker, ducker, whatever, Decision time. The thing about the Attorney General is you're supposed to enforce the laws. And he is enforcing the law, but the laws are also interpretable, and there's multiple ways to interpret it, and he's choosing one way to interpret it, shall we say. Underneath that all is the emperor. Yeah, that's great. You can be the smug merchant, but you're answerable to people, not only the voters, but this is going to be like the legal system. This could be Biden, this could be the governor, but there's a bigger authority underneath this. He wants to do this because he wants to give the election to Donald Trump. It's plain and simple. This guy is a huge Trumper. That's what he is. And he's trying to, game the system to do that. In the past, we've got the Eight of Cups, the walking away. It's fine. To me, this is like, when I'm looking at this transition, instead of looking at the abandonment, which it could be, he's abandoning reasonableness to become smug. He's graduated from, emotionally abandoning people to arrogance. That's where we are with this fellow right now. He's just arrogant. He seems to have lost his humanity somewhere along the lines. And that's one of the problems with MAGA and Trumpism and stuff like that. It gives people permission to be their worst. And some people, they really look forward to that because they feel so constricted, having to be spend so much energy in not being a crappy person, that it's like putting on stretch pants after you've been gorging yourself at Thanksgiving. It's just so free and relaxing that you don't have those tight other pants you're wearing. Now you got stretch pants. Now you can eat even more and it's comfortable as opposed to being uncomfortable. Current situation, he's working on this. He's not working to resolve this. He's probably also fundraising off of this. I didn't go to his website, but I'm sure he's being rewarded financially, and I don't mean being paid under the table. I just mean if he has a re-election campaign, which I'm sure they would be re-electing. It's 2019. He got put in there. It's probably a 5 or 6 year term. I'm sure he's up for re-election soon, so he's got to get his his money in order, his campaign finances in order. Whether this is his values or raising money, there's some component of that in there. In some ways, it's almost like he's forcing his values on people. He's not enforcing the law, he's enforcing values. Yeah, he's not the type of person who's going to compromise. No, 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 no. He likes being attorney general. It's my way or the highway. Go pound sand, you don't like it. Yeah, this is not a collaborator. This is a dictator. He was brought in for his anti-corruption. Oh, the irony of it all. The lesson to be learned from this, when you've got this guy being such an obstacle, you're going to force people to go into the back rooms and make backroom deals. Now, whether this is the Republicans trying to strong arm the Democrats to get legislation done, or the Democrats working with the Biden administration and the legal teams, there's going to be a lot of backroom dealings going on because this guy is such an obvious wall in the way of progress. Out comes the death card. This guy's attempt at stalling this isn't going to work. Negotiations are going to be going on. There are ways around this, and these shenanigans are going to be brought to a stop. Whether it's done to advance Trump, the emperor could just be democracy in general. Democracy is not going to be denied because one state attorney general says, you have to give us the results by August 7th. That is not a reason to keep the candidate from a major political party off of your ballot. That's lame. And you can see the courts talking about that. The lawyers that would be arguing for the attorney general's office, the judge, does that seem reasonable to you? Not what the letter of the law says, but does that seem reasonable to you? And can you say that answer to me in a straight face? Because if they say, well, yeah, it's very reasonable, then it's like, well, then why did you make an exception in 2020, in 2012, in 2008, in 2004, in 2000, in 1996? Why was it okay all the way back then, but it's not okay now? I'm curious. Ohio. Will this go the legal route? It's got to go the legal route. They're going to force him to go to court. Will this go the legal route? How does the legal route look if they take the legal route? Ace of Cups, passions, emotions, strong passions. To me, that would almost be the legislature. That's people debating it. But it doesn't appear that the Republicans are interested in that, unless they can find some political gain for doing that. Crossed with the Page of Wands. An adventure. No. I think it's courts. It's like, nope. You guys got to go forward with the messaging of values. You got to go forward with the messaging. The passion that's in there. Are we actually talking about court cases? Are we talking about the way people are feeling about this? Let me keep going. It may not be answering the question that I've asked. You got the Strength card in the past. Trying to steal the election there, are you? Holding the DNC hostage. Offer, fake offers of friendship in that. No, this is describing more of kind of the motivations that are going on. So we're going to read, we're continuing our discussion of the Attorney General here. Strong emotions. He's a fanatic. He's a Trumper. He's a Trumper fanatic. He's not ruling on this with his head. He's ruling on this with his heart. And he's trying to, blaze a new path. Messaging that, I'm in charge. You're going to follow the rules as I interpret them. And underneath it is Again, there's that Page of Pentacles. It's my values. It's messaging about values. I I hate saying this because I sound like cynical and just nasty, but it just seems like either he's communicating his values or he's communicating how nice it would be if he had some extra funds put into his campaign. In the past, we have the Strength card. This is basically, to me, trying to force his ruling down the throat of the public in Ohio. Why is he doing that? Because he's trying to steal the election. He's trying shenanigans to steal the election for Trump. Overarching energy is the Eight of Swords. This to me is the Democrats, the Democratic National Party. He's holding the DNC hostage because he's trying to force them to announce Biden sooner. It doesn't serve any purpose. It's not like it's a neck and neck race between Biden and another candidate. I mean, it's obvious it's going to be Biden. So the only reason why you wouldn't have him on the ballot is you're trying to steal the election for the other candidate, who just happens to be your political party. He's offering compromise or sincerity or something like that. He's such a bald-faced liar. This guy is he's out to lunch. His son's got him nailed down. The outcome is the Queen of Wands. There's going to be extra action taken. To me, it's legal action. By the summertime, there's going to be action that's taken on this one. Calmer minds are going to come in and put an end to this drama. Okay, let's get this card in there. Cut it so that's not on the bottom anymore. You can see the bottom card there, Queen of Coins. And now we shuffle. This is a fake shuffle. This is a real shuffle. I hope you can hear the tone difference on that. Hey, let me do that again. For the people that wonder if they want to see me shuffle, here's a fake shuffle. Here's a real shuffle. Those are loud though, so then I often do overhand shuffles like this to do that. A couple shuffles to get the cards mixed and randomized a little bit, and then the overhand shuffle, just try to mix them up some more. And when I put the cards back, I try and put it back in different spots. Okay, ooh, I'm bending the cards here. All right, so you've given us more and more information on the motivation of the Attorney General. How does this get resolved? There's no way. There is no way Biden's not on the ballot. Just none. Ridiculousness. How does this get resolved? There's the Emperor. Yeah, the courts come in. I don't think Biden can do it, but it's like the courts come in and say, yeah, that's a big no there, big buddy. That's a betrayal yeah, you can't do that to the voters. You know what this might be? This is just like the voters of Ohio. You cannot do that to the voters of Ohio. Here's the courts. Yeah, this is like the people voicing their protests on that. And this is the courts ruling. You can't do this to the voters of Ohio. That's not right. Cannot do that. Sorry. Here we go. You might be trying to work against this and make things difficult, building your wall here. But I got some bad news for you. All these other times you've done this, you need to do it again. The law hasn't changed that you can now reject this. At least I don't think it's changed that you can reject this. Queen of Wands, yeah, this is that delay in the court that's like, yeah, you know what? We're going to court. We're going to be discussing this. This is going to be like it could be a female district court judge or something like that who's going to stay the Attorney General's order on this one. We're going to put this to rest. You know what? It's going to put the drama to rest. The legislature can fix it or whatnot, but they're going to rule that you can't keep them off the ballot, and that's going to calm everything down. And that'll fix Alabama as well. The outcome is the Seven of Coins. At the end of the day, let the voters decide what they're going to do. This is the same. It looks, no, he's not. He's got different leggings on. He's got the same top though. In the end, it's like, let the voters make their choices on the candidates. Nothing is going to change whether or not the candidates announce on August 7th or August 20th. There's no change here. There's no reason to go through this drama. This is a non-issue. And that's one of the reasons why I've tried not to read on it, because to me this is like such a non-issue. This is such manufactured drama that to give it any reading or energy just seems it's showing it more respect than it deserves. But at the same time, if you're a resident of Ohio or you're concerned about such things like that, you might be anxious. So let me go ahead and do my snarky, sarcastic reading, complete with teenage eye rolls. And maybe bring that down a little bit. We're going to be fine. This is going to get resolved. Don't you worry about it. All right. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you for your likes, shares, comments, everything you do to feed the YouTube algorithm so my video makes it out to a wider audience. To folks discovering this channel recently or for the first time, thank you very much. Welcome to the channel. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.